This is the UUNIGATE Guide Part 4. In this video, we're going to review minting types and talk about single shot versus fast track minting. Single shot being just a one-off mint using the smart contract system to create just one NFT, and the other fast track being a collection option, meaning that you can fast track a mint because a collection minting is actually already registered on the blockchain. We'll explain both of those in more detail, as well as go over how to mint a single shot NFT using the Discord NFT bot. As always, in the previous videos, we're going to be using the Espers blockchain. As mentioned also in previous videos, if you have not seen the other guides, we highly recommend that you do. And this can be seen just by looking in our description or looking in the YouTube channel itself of this channel. So, starting off with reviewing minting types. Single shot NFTs are designed if you really just want to make a one-off NFT. This is going to be, in this case, unique. So in other words, you're not just going to be making an NFT with 1,000 quantity. This is a NFT, not a semi-fungible token. And what I'm referring to by a semi-fungible token is it's become very popular to have an NFT with a quantity. And this is no longer an NFT. This is almost an SFT, or a semi-fungible token, meaning that you have literally provided a quantity of an NFT in an NFT mint. And I don't mean to get complicated there, but in this case, we're not going to be doing this or showing this off, even though it is a capability we do have with any of the blockchains. This is a more advanced feature, and we will be discussing this in a later video. We will have supplementary guides to go over specifically fast track minting, collection minting, and previously stated features. So what fast track is it allows you to mint quickly to a already pre-approved collection. When you create a collection on the network, it is voted on consensus-wise just like a single shot NFT is. If you've watched the previous video, you'll know what I'm talking about by being voted on. Each chain's community votes on each smart contract, and it has to meet the community standards and approvals to make it onto any individual blockchain. In this case, again, we'll be doing single shot, which means that we'll just be minting one NFT and looking for approval from the community for the single NFT. With a fast track mint, you'll be registering a collection, and the entire collection will be pre-approved by the community, and this allows you to simply mint as you go, or to mint the entire collection immediately and then just send as needed to the recipients. Well, now that we've reviewed that, let's go ahead and go to how to NFT, which is an interesting channel, but it's available in the Espers Discord, and you'll see it available in the other ones too, although you may not see it right this moment there. So, as in previous videos, we've opened up a browser again, and we've gone to a Discord, and we've gone to the Espers Discord. Again, if you don't know how we've gotten here, please review the other videos that are going to be in the description and in our channel as well. From here, a lot of the information available is already things we've touched on in previous videos, so I'm going to go ahead and skip past a lot of this, such as the requiring 500 ESP to register for a creator account, or for a voter account, and just talk about really what I want to get down to over here. And that's just these few details. First, I would like for everybody to please note that the terms and conditions as far as minting for the NFTs on Espers Network is these are valid NFTs. They are actually stored on the blockchain, and they are actually relayed. And even if we do change their base framework and how they operate, they will be merged and upgraded to updated systems and made sure that they're not just left by the wayside. These are systems and these are smart contracts that will be available even past the beta phase. You're not just creating, something that's just for a beta. Next, also the per kilobyte fees are subject to change. They actually already have changed, and they've changed to become actually more affordable. It used to be that it was a 5 ESP per kilobyte fee. As you can actually see here, we already state this right there. This is now a so a 0.5 ESP per kilobyte image size feed. And this is just to make it more reasonable, especially during a beta. We don't want people to think that we're just, trying to, effectively grift a bunch of cash. And that's not what's going on here. The point is, of course, nobody wants to store an NFT for free. And what I mean by that is with the sidechain systems and with the voting systems, fees have to come from somewhere. And it's only logical. I mean, processing fees are what make the world go around. So in this case, we're trying to use a reasonable fee and to make sure that this runs the system and incentivizes all aspects of the system. So again, just be aware that this will change throughout the beta phase, and then will become an automated change through a DAO, as mentioned in our last video. So one thing I wanted to go over is the try mint. So this is what everyone's been waiting for, and by that I mean for single shot minting, this is how you will mint one NFT at a time. It's a little bit of a hassle, and if you're an artist who's looking to mint a collection, please get a hold of us. And by us, again, I mean the official team, public relations, moderators. Just reach out to us. We will be more than happy to work with you and to set up a proper collection with fast track systems running. The fast track system is not a publicly betaed system right now, just because it's still a little bit under development. And again, what I mean by that is we just don't want any surprises when people put public load on it. Right now, we're very confident with the single shot mint, so that's why we're doing the try mint as a beta option for our users in a public beta feature. Again, so if you're looking to do a fast tracker collection and you're watching this video right now and it's still not available, just reach out to us. Although more than likely by the time you're watching this video, fast track is available and is simply later mentioned in another video in the next series of guides. So to go over TryMint, we're first going to talk about the meta NFT ID here. So when you're seeing this, please note that there is a space here, and I do discuss this several times down here, but I just wanted to point this out. It is so important, so absolutely important that you recognize that there's a space here. And the reason for this is how the bot actually parses this data, because it's reading this data and it's using this to create some of the details in the smart contract. This will change also, I just wanted to point out, because it'll have brackets. So in other words, we will have it more like, I hate to use this terminology, but it'll be more like Solidity, in terms of being able to be more like a programming language with brackets and things like that. Right now, this is a pure raw test, so we're just feeding raw data and creating the smart contract using effectively a template through UNIGATE. So in this case, again, we're just going to go over what these details are, what they mean, and how to use the TryMint single shot command. So with Meta NFT ID, this is actually anything you'd like it to be. This is a unique ID to your NFT and actually cannot be recreated. So a lot of other blockchains, they allow you to have the same NFT ID or names. In this case, we allow the same names, but not ID for one specific reason. And this is so that way people can't just create duplicates. It's much more difficult to create this since the blockchain already prevents this just by having a unique NFT ID for a specific collection or for a specific NFT. So this can actually be anything you'd like it to be. You as the user and the creator can create any kind of ID you'd like. It does have a character limit, although this is fairly high, and this is completely up to you to use. Obviously, if you want to make a very large ID, I don't see why. It's just going to look and format odd. So there's really no incentive to be, abusive to the system and create large IDs. Just something to reference your NFT very logically is the best way to go here. So with the Nft Alias here, which is the next section, and before I get ahead of myself here, these underscores are specifically instead of spaces. So as I mentioned, there's a space here between these, options, and to prevent spaces and to prevent the system from reading incorrectly, I have these underscores. So what this actually can be is more like something down here, and I'll get to what's up there. But as you can see with the TryMint, I don't have any underscores here, right? So this is the ID, and this is kind of what I'm getting at here. Is we still have spaces, but we don't have spaces in the ID. If I wanted to have spaces in the ID, I would either use dashes or underscores. And I actually state this again earlier up here. So, for instance, note, though each component is separated by a space, the overall command phrasing, you can't use spaces. So if you wanted to use "it's a sunny day" for the meta comments, you would instead type "it's a sunny day," or "it's a sunny day" with underscores. And again, this will be addressed, but this is something what we have during the beta. And if you're watching this video at a later time, you're probably just going to be ignoring me right here because we've already created much more advanced and sophisticated handling that doesn't have these problems. Anyway, the meta NFT ID, just so that way you know, is any series of letters and numbers. The bot will inform you if this is already used. And this is just effectively your serial number to your NFT, and this can be anything you'd like it to be. Later features will offer you to just randomize this if you'd like to not have to bother creating one, but in the initial beta you will be creating one yourself. Meta Nft Alias, a name you'd like for your NFT. So this is literally the name, what you would call it. So just like everybody is familiar with Bored Apes, you would call it Bored_ape, for example. Anyway, moving on, the Meta NFT network is the coin ticker of the network you wish to mint on. As it states here, ESP in this case is what we're going to be using. And meta comments, any of the metadata, including traits or copyright that you would like to do. This can be put in any way you'd like as long as it has the dashes and underscores previously mentioned. And the reason for this is because this type of metadata can be parsed any way. Many other collections and systems may want to have a specific format to their metadata, and we allow for this type of dynamic variety because, again, the smart contract doesn't really care what it's storing as long as the data is correct and valid. The meta owner address, by the way, is the owner public key, and this is for withdrawing to the wallet. Since right now this is not a feature that we have publicly available until all the wallets are fully updated, and we put that into public beta, we usually just type in null, and you'll see me type that in. Though you can put an address, that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything, and in fact will be able to be used later on. So, and then meta cached URL is a URL or link to the image you want to mint as an NFT. So to get around an upload feature or something like that, we recommend using something like Imager or Imgur. I don't know how else you would like to pronounce it. And this is a site that you can just simply find by going to Google and typing in Imager. Oop, if I could spell, that would help. Let's see. Alright, Imager, the magic of the internet. So, first you're going to find a little bit of an annoying ad, but this is relatively quick to fix. You're probably going to want to click sign up unless you've already signed up for this system. In this case, I'm going to click sign in, and then, wow, none of those are correct. I'm going to type in CryptoCoders. There we go. And hopefully remember my password. Okay. So, now that I've remembered my password, I'm going to go to my account and my posts, and as you can see here, there's a lot of different things, such as the round 2 NFTs here, and other things. For example of how you're going to actually get the image is you want to actually not click this copy link. You're not going to want to click that for one reason, and that is that you're not going to get the .png or the file format. And this is really important for the system to be able to know how to save and how to store your image correctly. So you're actually going to want to right-click, and again, that's right-click on the mouse, and you're going to want to open image in a new tab. And when you do this, what this does is you can see right here, it's probably a little small on your screen, but I've opened it up and it has a .png here. And that's really important because with that .png, now the system's going to be able to understand how to mint this NFT. So in this case, I already have an image uploaded, and we're just going to use our pre-uploaded image, but I wanted to go over how you as a user could use Imager or another website, to store your image. Just again, make sure that it has the extension in the link. You always want the .png, .gif, .jpeg. Just make sure it says that. It's really important. Okay, and with this, let's go ahead and actually try minting something, shall we? So again, you're probably going to want to be in the NFT bot. There's already some users that have been trying to mint in here, and I apologize to you folks. After this video is released, obviously you'll be able to, but I wanted to wait and make sure that users could watch this guide and get a general knowledge of what's going on, and just to uncomplicate a few things. All right, so from here, let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to copy my previous mint on CryptoCoder's account, and we're going to do this with this other account that I have for demonstration purposes here. So first, we're going to want to bump this up. I'm actually not familiar with the last one I left off on, so we're just going to make a 16, right? And this actually isn't too vital, because if you try to, if it collides with another already existing NFT, whether or not someone is currently getting it voted on, or if it's actually already on the network, the system will inform you if this is already taken and not available. In this case, this is the NFT ID. We're going to try mint, which is a single shot mint. And again, we'll go over fast track minting in a later video. In fact, it'll either be the next one or the one after that, depending on if the next video goes over specifically the UUNIGATE web UI. Anyway, moving on, the Esper's Test NFT is the name of this NFT. So it's going to show up in your searches, and we'll actually go over that with the UUNIGATE web UI on searching for existing NFTs on partnered networks. And you're going to see this show up, the Esper's Test NFT. There's actually going to be quite a few of them, obviously, as many IDs exist and they're numbered. So we're going to look for 16 in this case once we actually mint it. And moving on, we have the ESP ticker right here. So this is the network that we're trying to mint on. And this is right here, this is the metadata. In this case, I just have a general description of what I'm doing with this NFT and what this is. In this case, this is a test NFT for the ESP network. Pretty self-explanatory. And again, I'm not really caring about a withdrawal address registration right here, so I'm going to leave this null. And again, that's just a pub key that you would put a public key right there to register as a withdrawal address. And this can be changed anytime by the owner of the NFT. So moving on, finally, we have the link. And as you can see back here, I have a .png. And this is just that purple image that you saw above here. So again, because I have the .png, I can actually store the image with the bot. And the bot's going to then store this with the blockchain and create a smart contract with these details in it. So let's go ahead and hit enter and see what happens. So as you see here, I've been direct messaged. And let's check with the Esper's bot first. So it says, I've paid 2.662 Esper's for NFT minting fees, and payment has been removed from my balance. Where it's getting this 2.662 is how many kilobytes the image was. Again, we're paying 0.5 ESP per kilobyte. So, you know, this was a few kilobytes of an image, and we only had to pay 2.662. And again, this will be dynamic as the price of the project increases. To be reasonable, these fees come down with a DAO consensus. So let's take a look at the UUNIGATE NFT bot next. And it states here when it was attempting to pay that we were attempting to pay, and now that it's finished NFT registration and users can vote on the NFT. So, as in previous videos, we went over the NFT voting itself. So let's go ahead and actually vote for that. And you as the creator can vote for yourself. It's not something you can do obviously more than once, but just like in any kind of polling system or any kind of voting system, the person that's a candidate can vote once for themselves if they so choose. So let's go ahead and actually do that. We're going to say vote for NFT, and then we're going to put that ID space allow, because we want to allow this on our blockchain. And then we're going to do at the UUNIGATE NFT bot. Okay, so right here is stated that I have successfully voted for the NFT ID with this ID. In this case, we've already updated our NFT voting system to require 5 votes, so this might take a moment for some of the community to vote this in. And by taking a moment, I mean it shouldn't take too long. Anytime a community member sees someone minting things, it's already an incentive for them to go ahead and help vote that on and earn a reward for it. If you'd like to kind of speed up the process, there's a great little channel right here under the NFT section, and this is the Nft Vote Request. So in the NFT Vote Request, you can actually ask people like, hey, please vote for my NFT and provide me feedback. Also, if you are worried whether or not your NFT is appropriate or, will be voted into the system, NFT feedback is a great channel to use. Please be aware that this is age restricted to 18 years or older, because there is a lot of content that, is considered artistic that is not always appropriate for all ages. So again, just be aware of this, and you do have to be an appropriate age to be there. However, you can always ask anybody to vote on your NFT. So as you can see also here, the UNIGATE bot is just talking with the Espers bot and has made sure that the fees were paid. So we've gone ahead and fast forwarded a little bit here and had some people finally vote on the NFT, and I just didn't want to hold up you as a viewer and waiting on this to happen. So let's go ahead and review what the bots have stated. So after a few people have voted, first of all, because I voted, I also received a portion of the vote fee, and like I said, this is the incentivized system I was talking about. So you're actually receiving a portion of the minting fee used for the NFT, because you're actually supporting the system by being, part of the community consensus. Now, moving on, as you can see here with the UNIGATE NFT bot, it has stated your pending NFT ENT016 has successfully been minted, and you've been awarded voting fees as well. So because these are two separate messages, just I wanted to point out, because this is regarding the fact that I voted, and this is regarding the NFT that we have minted in Singleshot. So going back to the Espers NFT Discord here, one thing I'd like to do is also go ahead and let's see if we can check the NFT yet. It's syncing right now with the UNIGATE system, so it may or may not allow us to view it while it's shoring everything up in the background. But once everything is shored up, it not only is viewable here from within Discord, but also with the web UI of the UNIGATE system itself. And we'll go over viewing it through the web UI really quick as well, although the rest of the web UI tour will be in the next video, guide number 5, which will go over using the overall UNIGATE website to do any kind of voting and minting as well, as they have a better user interface on the website, and it really just makes it a lot easier than even going through the bot. But anyway, let's go ahead and view NFT, and we're going to ask to view the ID of the NFT, and we're going to type it at UNIGATE NFT bot. So as you see here, it's told us that the NFT is found, the NFT ID, alias, and everything that we input with the previous systems are here. So something you also may have noticed is that right now it is not showing the PNG, and this is just because it wasn't synced up right this second with the UNIGATE website. And this is what I was talking about, by it takes a second to shore everything up. Right now it's caching this picture, and so this is taking a moment just to cache that system. So one thing we can do is we can actually search for this in the meantime as well and see if it's already updated. To do this though, let's go ahead and actually do something kind of fun. We're at one of the most top search results now. So if you type in UNIGATE search, we're going to be right there. We're actually first result. And you can see a lot of NFTs here already. A lot of these, like for instance this test one right here, they're all updated because it updates pretty quickly in the system. And what this picture is right here is you can click on it, and it gives you the actual raw rendering. And as you can see here, it's linked, and on the other page it wasn't, just because it wasn't finished syncing yet. And we can see here who the artist is. In this case, it's Crypto Coders. Render Cache View takes us to the same link, and we got a little green symbol here saying that this system, that this NFT contract is online and on the chain. In this case, the ESP network itself. So now let's go back to the search page. 1 second, sorry guys. And then let's go back to the search page and let's look for this NFT. So as you can see here, I don't have anything yet. So let's go ahead and hit refresh and search for it again. Now it's come up. And as you can see here, now the image shows up as well. And it is for the actual 16 itself. This very image that wasn't showing up just a moment ago now is, because the system finished caching this contract and finish caching the image. And by caching, I mean it's simply storing it for a later retrieval. Even though it retrieved this image from the blockchain, it's then storing it so that way it doesn't have to pound the system as hard. It's easier on the network, but it's also easier for the system to simply cache it for UNIGATE itself. So, and we can also go back to the Discord here, and we can do view NFT again, and this time you will notice that we can indeed see the NFT. So this time it's brought up the image, as you can see. So this goes over the minting that we wanted to go over for Singleshot, and I just wanted to thank you for joining us with this. Again, we will go over collection minting, aka fast track minting, later. And again, what this means is you pre-approve the collection instead of just one NFT, and then you can mint to this collection quickly without waiting for votes, like you saw us waiting in this case. So it's a lot easier for an artist, for example, or a creator to create a collection, have the collection approved by the community, and then fast track the minting. Because this is all auditable later anyway. So if there's any kind of malice or improper use, we can correct this later as a community with the community consensus voting system we have in place. So again, thank you for joining us. We will have the collection minting coming up in video 6, which is the video after the next one. The next one is going to be video 5, which goes over web UI on Singleshot minting and web UI for voting. And again, what web UI means is just simply this, the site that we were at right now, unigate.com. You can expect this site to get seriously updated throughout the course of the beta, and just be aware that as it changes, things will improve as far as aesthetically and usability wise. But we wanted to go ahead and show that there was an easier way than using the NFT bot. The NFT bot is just the genesis, effectively. It's where the platform all started. It was designed to create a gateway for our Discord community and our Discord users, and then branched off to become its own web platform as well. And this, again, is a service that sits on top of the blockchain. The blockchain does not rely on this service. Any of these NFTs are viewable through the wallets themselves as well, and on the blockchains themselves as well. This is, again, more like an open sea. This is designed to make it easier for you, the user, to use and interact with the system. Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in video 5, where we go over how to use the web UI.